Take a look at this. Scout ship setting sail. Scout ship setting sail.
I gotta say, you guys look less like pirates and more like a circus troupe.
Are you alright with having demons on board, Benwick?
Not remotely an issue. If you're aboard this ship of misfits, you're a pirate. That's just our creed. At least, that's what the captain and the first mate always say.
Speaking of the captain, what's Eifried like?
Let's see. How do I put it? He's like if the sea were a person, and that person had a pointy beard.
Huh. A bearded sea?
Look, everybody on this ship is an outcast from society in some way. Despite that, Captain Eifried accepted us for who we are, and took us all on board.
So he's a kind man.
Well, would you say that the sea is kind? How would it feel to dive in with an open wound?
It would sting. A lot.
Quite so. Some days he's calm and steady, and others he rages. He can be shallow, deep, even a whirlpool. Quite so. Some days he's...
Sounds like he's a little scary and hard to read.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to serve him. But that air of mystery keeps us around, and makes us want to take those jumps. At the end of the day, the dread pirate Van Eifried is one hell of a guy.
He sounds like Velvet in a lot of ways.
Wait, what? How so? I didn't describe him right at all, did I?
Benwick, we're changing course at once for Port Renede.
Sir? What's going on?
3 of our men have collapsed from the Corsair Scourge. They first showed symptoms 3 days ago. How are you holding up?
I'm still doing all right. But if this really started 3 days ago, that means we're all carrying it, doesn't it?
That's what I'm afraid of. But if we head straight to Port Renede, we should be able to get medicine there.
I'll check on everyone's condition.
Make sure everyone stays hydrated, including yourself, understand?
Sir, yes sir. All hands, assume emergency positions.
The crew's holding up well for a bunch of folks at death's door.
What do you mean? Is this Corsair Scourge fatal?
Quite. No one knows what causes it, but it starts with a high fever and ends up with the body falling apart like sand.
Like sand?
Once, there was a great band of pirates who ruled the seas, but the disease spread through their ships and killed every one of them. That's why it's called the Corsair Scourge.
Does that mean we've been infected as well?
You humans, for sure.
Only humans fall prey to the Corsair Scourge.
Then it could have gotten to you too. Right, Moggy Lou?
Oh, right. Alas, that my glorious saga should meet such an ignominious end!
I can't allow our vessel to die from this. If you start to feel ill, speak up.
I will.
All right, we'll all be helping out in the search. Everyone but Eleanor, that is.
Huh? Oh, why does she get to stay? I might be dying too, you know.
You're a witch. Magic yourself healthy. Now quit whining and get going.
Oh, not even a witch is safe from the ravages of the Reaper's curse! The Reaper's curse?
Nobody cares about Maggie Lou.
Okay, where's the herbalist? If I remember right, the Corsair's Scourge needs a particularly special medicine.
Yeah, it's a wildflower called Salatoma. Its juice can cure the Corsair's Scourge.
Doesn't sound too tricky.
Let's not relax until we have it in hand.
Right. Now let's get going.
Hold on a minute. Won't you just be spreading the disease if everyone wanders into town? Surprisingly, no. For whatever reason, you can only catch it over the ocean waves. It's speculated it might have something to do with the salt in the air, or maybe the microbes in the seawater.
Nobody knows the cause for sure, but there are no recorded cases of people catching it on land.
I see. A strange affliction indeed.
We'll be back soon. You all remain on the ship.
All right. Good luck out there, sir.
We've got to hurry.
Salatoma. Is this really going to be necessary?
What do you mean, Eleanor?
Oh, nothing. It's just... well, the herb is known to work well for fevers and the like, but it tastes bad. So bad. Some say it would even bring a demon to the brink of tears.
Maybe so. But better to drink it than to die, right?
Oh, I'm not worried. It just reminded me of stories from my childhood is all.
Never had medicine that tasted good, so...
That Rokuro, always telling all of us except Eleanor to work harder. Doesn't he realize that I'm a delicate maiden too? This is workplace discrimination. I should put him on a witch trial and burn him at the stake!
I don't think that's how witch trials work.
What's wrong, Eleanor? You look like you've got something on your mind.
I'm just trying to figure out what Rokuro was thinking. When I had Lord Shigure at the end of my spear, Rokuro threw his dagger right at my head. I thought I was dead for sure. I feel like I saw who he truly was, and it frightens me. But he and Lord Shigure are always trying to kill each other. I can't understand why he did what he did.
It might have something to do with his Bushido code.
What's Bushido? Is that like a sword fighter's code?
It's a way of thinking. Be loyal to your lord. Respect your parents. Protect the weak. And act with honor.
You're saying that he was following this Bushido code, and he was protecting me because I was weak?
He might have turned into a demon, but his memories and personality are still intact. I doubt his moral values have disappeared either.
Do you really think he believes in that Bushido stuff? Carving through his enemies with a cruel and unsparing sword! Slash! Pow! Shazam! That's the true nature of a Rangetsu man! I heard that when Velvet first met him, he immediately attacked her without any provocation. I'm sure you haven't already forgotten how he turned his swords on the kid in that fight against Kurogane.
I wouldn't read too much into what Magilu's saying. Rokuro lives for his sword, and that's just who he is.
But I don't think he's all that bad.
I thought you were the one who called him frightening.
I know I said he can be a scary person, but... how do I put it? I do feel there's more to him than just wanting to cut people up. It's like... he's more sensitive to other people's emotions than he might seem to be at first glance. A sword fighter has to sense his opponents on some level, right?
For a crazed demon, he's actually a nice guy. Is that it?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not like I know him well enough to claim any deep personal insight or anything.
You brought it up.
A bit ago, a manacled body got caught in my nets.
Manacled? A prisoner?
You too? Yesterday, my nets pulled up an arm. Manacles, even a brand on that one.
I really can't take this anymore. I'm losing my appetite, and it's bad for my heart.
You said it. Judging by the tides, they would have to have come from that prison island. Is it really just a prison?
You think it's strange, too? I've suspected something about that place for a while now. They say the whole island is a prison, but if you ask me, I bet it's just an execution ground.
Or it's for experimenting on demons.
Experimenting? What do you mean?
Testing the demons' capabilities. That's why they need prisoners. Food for the monsters.
Not a bad theory.
Just kidding. There's no way the Abbey would do something that horrible, right?
You sure think of some crazy ideas. I bet all of this is the work of some vicious pirate gang.
Yeah, something like that.
That guy. He's pretty sharp.
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen any patrol ships around there recently. Used to be they'd chase you off if you got too close.
You know, you're right. If there are pirates about, it'll mean trouble unless the Abbey tightens up their patrols.
The best we can do is keep a wide berth of it for now. We wouldn't want pirates and demons sneaking up on us.
I think we'd notice if pirates or demons were around. No way they'd catch us unawares.
I can't tell if he's sharp or dull as a brick.
Right, we're standing right behind him. What's in here? That was not very interesting.
That's an interesting bridge.
This bridge has a bit of history to it. Port Renede was originally built here on this inlet. The water's deep enough for ships, but as you can see, it's a bit too narrow for a port. Large ships couldn't come close without a top-rate crew. So Port Renede was used almost exclusively by smaller ships.
What about the Von Eltia?
We're the best of the best. We came and went as we pleased.
So your point is you wanted to brag.
Hey, let me finish. The people wanted their town to grow, so they built an outer harbor for large ships, and this bridge to connect to it.
Uh-huh. So that's why the port and the town are separate.
But there's more. We secretly helped provide the funds and resources for them to build it.
So you are bragging.
And did this bridge bring prosperity to Port Renede?
No. The Abbey began regulating shipping and travel, right about the time the town finished building the outer port. If only the seas had remained free, Port Renede would have developed into a center for commerce and trade.
I suppose things don't always go as planned.
Then again, even if Port Renede became a bustling port, we still would have no trouble slipping in or out.
I'm not biting this time.
When I was in Port Zexen, I heard that a swarm of demons attacked the palace and killed the High Priest.
No way! Isn't the palace the most heavily guarded place in the world? How did the exorcist let that happen?
Bad news really does travel fast.
They say that the demons were disguised as humans, but were actually enormous monsters twice the size of any man. They had razor-sharp horns and 3 burning eyes. They could take over your mind just by glaring at you.
If the demons were that terrible, no wonder the exorcist couldn't deal with them.
Some rumors say they escaped. Some say a legate took them down in a climactic battle. But no one knows the truth. We should be ready to run in case they show up.
Is the world falling apart? Will the bad times return again?
A horned giant with 3 eyes, huh? Velvet, you're one scary lady.
They said swarm, so they were talking about you too.
That's really exaggerating.
I know I'm repeating